Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. So I'm gonna try to keep this video even shorter than the last one. I'm really trying to cut these videos down so they don't go too long. But I do want to quickly say that a good big surprise for this video is that, bam! Look at that physical copy of the book right here. I am very happy to have this in my hands. When I got it in the mail, it was just a weird but great feeling just to have the physical thing. I have a book. I have an official book that I made, and I did everything. And so yeah, I'll be reading my next poem off of my now official physical copy of my first ever published poetry book called "You're Right, Something's Wrong." I don't know if it'll be necessarily like this because this is a proof. So I don't know how Amazon Kindle does their stuff, and so this may not be it won't have this band, that's for sure. It better not. But yeah, so but it may not be exactly like this. But it might. I don't know. I'm not totally sure. So we'll see on towards the end of the road of that. But the book is going to be published very, very soon. As you can see, I have a physical copy of it, and so it's pretty soon. I won't be giving any pre-order details just yet, just so I can, because I've been kind of reading this to make sure there's no hiccups, no proofreading errors and stuff. It shouldn't be. I edit this down to a freaking T, and so everything should be good to go. But anyways, okay. So I know last time I said I was going to read the poem "Imprisoned," and I decided to change that because I really wanted to read this other poem called "Codes," CODES, and "Imprisoned" it's just I really wanted to do this one because it's, I guess, timely and relevant and whatever. Codes deals with racism and police brutality, and I just wanted to read it just to show y'all what all is encompassed in this book. And so, yeah. This poem is called "Codes," CODES. Watching you on the other end of the better half, I ponder disappointing truths. Placing blame on monolithic titles goes the right way, but we're still idle. Everything's on race. It'd be no easy seed to swallow, it doesn't digest. It sits in juices of worry and surprises. You're a nigger out of hiding. It blooms when you bloom and blooms in gloom. Race, the 21st century complication. All cheat codes found but obsolete, and so when I got on Facebook and hashtags and hate crimes chimed the times of bewildering gut punches, you began to notice opinions of a black nature cracking your fragility. As I revealed a deep-rooted seed that had bore into me since birth, planted by the American farmer, spreading its root, causing you to gaze in disdain and turmoil. The race never left. The pace pitter-pattered in a locked cell like a caged panther. The seed of oppression merely rooted in the pit of my belly, so full it slows me down. Keeps me down on mornings like this, when 12-year-olds are shot. And I'm just supposed to swallow my pride and rot? No, I think not. Alright, so that poem was called "Codes." And I believe it was inspired, I'm trying to remember when I wrote it. Like I said, some of these were written 5-6 years ago. But I'm fairly certain this was written after. Okay, so I can't remember which unfortunate incident came first, the Ferguson riots, or Tamir Rice being shot. But it was during that whole period. And this is definitely after Tamir Rice was shot and killed. After the police showed up, he was playing with a toy gun in the park. And the police showed up and literally within less than 10 seconds shot him dead. And I mean, that was unfortunately not like the only shooting of an unarmed black citizen. But yeah, this book was this poem was written around that time, a little not too far after that had happened, and it was just about me finally letting some people know, particularly white people, white friends of mine, know that I have these opinions, and I've always had these opinions. And it was funny because when all that stuff was happening, people were like, Corbin, I didn't know, like, what happened? You didn't used to be this way, or blah, blah. I was like, no, I very much was this way. You were just either ignorant to the fact, or I just deliberately, probably more so the latter, I just deliberately didn't say anything. When I grew up, I was living in a majority white conservative, little West Texas town. And so, of course, I can't spout off any of these thoughts and opinions. Like, I would have no one to talk to or to relate to me on these things. And so, we just grow up knowing how to code switch, hence the term codes. And on top of it, it's kind of a double entendre because it's codes, like in terms of code switching, but then also codes in terms of how, we're using technology to express ourselves about like these social issues and things like that. And so it's kind of like codes, like you're deciphering people's languages, you're deciphering people's intentions, you're deciphering people's opinions through these encryptions and these algorithms and stuff, and trying to figure out people through codes. And it was just about me breaking the code and me breaking the I won't say silence, but me breaking my need to people please. And I do people please, and I'm getting out of that. But my need to make people feel comfortable when shit is hitting the fan, and trying to make particularly white people comfortable becomes kind of this weird like habit, because it's a habit out of survival. I gotta keep certain demographics comfortable if I want to keep my job. I have to keep certain demographics comfortable if I want to have people to hang with or talk to if I'm in an area that's majority white, and especially an area majority white conservative. And it's just about survival. And it just, at that time, I didn't need that whole survival method. And so I just was really trying to slowly break away and get rid of it by finally telling people how I felt about these issues. And a lot of people tried to come for me, and that was whenever I got rid of my Facebook the first time, and I did not get back on for a whole year. Because it was not just like people who, you add people on Facebook, you don't really know them, but now people who like I was close with, and I was hearing certain opinions, and I was surprised to say the least, but majority disappointed and hurt. And so yeah, this poem is like an amalgam of all those feelings of when you're just done being silent about who you are, about your experience, about your perspective, and especially about my experience as a black gay man. I just got officially very, very tired of appealing to a white heteronormative like echo chamber just hearing the same thing, having to speak the same thing and say this and say what other people are saying just so I could, you know, either not be harassed or not have to deal with conversations that really went nowhere because they didn't care to see my side of the story. So this is about just breaking through the codes and saying enough is enough, and I'm not going to swallow my pride and just be quiet about this. You're going to hear it whether you like it or not. And so that's why I really wanted to do this poem, just to show you like that's really what this book is about. It's about me being very truthful about myself and about my surroundings and how I was personally affected by those things, and about me not being silent about any of the issues that I've had to deal with. So yeah, that was Codes, and stay tuned for the next poem. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to stop telling y'all what the next poem will be, because I really don't know, because there's a lot of poems in here. So, but stay tuned.